Hey fellas, it's Remag UK here, and Dean Hall has come out of his cave and he is now communicating with us, which is fantastic. He has said a few things. He seems in good spirit, which is good as well. You don't want a lead developer that's upset or down. So what has he been saying? Well, he's kind of explained briefly why they've delayed it, which is understandable in my opinion. I think if you want to release something, you need to release it right and when it's ready, and not before. If you release it before it's ready, it will be a disaster and it will sink. So I understand that fully. So what's he been saying, and what is the latest news and update on the development of this game? Well, the focus has been on the architecture to do with inventory. So basically the link between the actual game world and the items and how it all mashes together and forms a beautiful thing. So what's beautiful about it? Well, from what he's said, it sounds bloody great, I've got to say. The fact that he's saying that you can potentially shoot someone in the face who is wearing night vision goggles, and when you actually go to loot him, those night vision goggles are now broken. So you can that much interaction is actually amazing. That's more than I ever imagined from this game. So it shows that they're turning it from something that's just an improved mod to something that is fully implemented in a fully independent game, which I look forward to. So they've also released screenshots of the internal textures that they've got now. So they've had a guy working on the internal texturing and things like that, just to make them look a bit more post-apocalyptic. And I think he's done a freaking good job, because take a look at the screenshots, look for yourself, see for yourself. They're bloody great. I mean, the wallpaper's peeling and it looks decrepit. Chairs have fallen over with proper textures on the wood. There's plants that are there. There's some shriveled up plants. There's shoes on the floor where the family left their shoes for the last time before they were slaughtered by the horde of zombies coming in their house to ravage them and horrible things like that. And now they're one of them, probably ravaging other people, bastards. The next thing as well to do with the inventory system is more intelligent loot placement. So if you go into a house, what do you expect when you go in the house? Do you expect a helicopter prop shaft or whatever, helicopter bloody windshield or a car windshield in a house? No. You expect some beans and some food and some maybe a shotgun in a cupboard or a pistol in a shelf. I don't know, like in a drawer, something like that. Maybe a knife or a hatchet, something realistic. And you expect food and maybe some simple medicine like bandages and I don't know, painkillers, stuff like that you might have. Toothpaste. I don't know. Can you use toothpaste as a weapon? Probably not, but it might be there. So I think it's better because at the moment, people in DayZ, you kind of have to rely on looking at the map and just going, oh, military loot, supermarket. That's like the only places you can guarantee either weapons or food and drink. Where do you get medical supplies? Hospital. It's just simple things like that. Whereas in this new one, you're gonna need to use natural instinct more to find your stuff. So where do you find guns? Maybe a gun shop. Maybe a cupboard in a house. Maybe there's a shotgun cupboard or a pistol under the bed or under the pillow. And they've said that they can potentially spawn items under beds, so you can go prone and find a can or something under the bed. So there might be pistols under beds, and on a table in the house you'll find cans of beans and maybe a hatchet. So it's a lot more realistic, and I think that'll be great for the immersiveness of the game. It'll be great for people playing the game. I also love the fact that obviously a lot of the stuff is server side now, so you can't have hackers just coming along with their scripts of God mode and bullshit like that, just coming and destroying the game. And everything will be on the same sort of server base, and it will just be great. I mean, it will be proper community, not spread over different hives and all this nonsense. It'll be proper. So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I don't know what the server caps will be. Potentially they could go to 200, I reckon, without a problem if it's server side, and maybe even more. If it's going to be taking a more MMO architecture, there's probably no limit to how many people you could have. And on such a large island like that, I don't think that's a bad thing. So the next thing as well is items of clothing. So you can see that they've provided a lot more customization with the clothing. I mean, in these screenshots here, you can see one guy with nice blue jeans and a nice red hoodie. I'd bloody wear that. It looks quality. And he's got a nice backpack. I mean, I reckon that's all going to be customizable. You'll have no problem there. Just get your bloody special sunglasses, get your cool Nike shoes, mix it up a bit. I think you'll have customization over all of it. They're talking about 3D views, so you can model your character, put different clothing on it. I imagine this kind of clothing is something you'll loot in the world, so you'll probably start with something quite generic, hopefully different to other people, but generic, and hopefully you'll be able to loot other things, uniforms, and hopefully you'll still be able to customize it and just have a really unique character. And I think that'd be great. So the next thing as well I want to pinpoint is the potential for weapon customization. So they've already said that everything is going to be in bits. So a gun will be bits. So potentially you'll need to repair the gun. It will degrade over time. And the barrel might get worn out, so you'll need to get a new barrel from another gun. So instead of taking a whole new gun, you might just need to take bits of guns, and you might be able to customize the gun in such a way that it's unique. You might develop your gun and set your gun up to be different to everyone else's. So you might put a silencer on it and have a bipod on it, and someone else might go for a flash suppressor or something like that. So it'll be a lot more customizable. And again, I think that will also affect the finer details of when you're shooting at people. If you shoot at their gun or near their gun, you could potentially disable the gun. And now that seems pretty extreme, but if they're saying that you can shoot someone's face and damage the night vision, if you shoot at someone's gun, you could potentially damage the gun and disable the gun. So this could give a whole new meaning to the word sort of hold up. You've got someone there who's sitting there. Instead of having to make them lie down and face away from you and drop their weapons, you could just shoot the bloody gun and destroy it out of their hand, like some sort of sharpshooter. And then what are they going to do? They'll be fannying around. Oh, I haven't got a gun. Piss, piss, piss. And you'll just be like, sit down, bastard. It'll give you a whole new power of just some crack shot, just taking out people's guns and rendering them useless. I think that if they can do that, fuck yeah, that game. I'm only playing that game if it's going to be as good as that. So they've said some really good things about it. Now for them, it's spending the time to make it work. They can't implement this unfinished because they've hyped it up themselves. They're saying really good things about it themselves. So if they release it and it's not as good as they say, there's issues. So they've said that they're going to have 500 people to 1,000 people hop on to some sort of private test, internal testing of the architecture. Most likely just the inventory system and how it works and all of those different components, items having different components. Make sure that works. That's the main thing. And I don't think they're going to have any form or anything that you fill out to make that happen. I think they're going to probably pick people. Maybe it'll be big YouTubers. Maybe it'll be just people on the development team that they know, close friends, that will keep their mouths shut. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they said it's going to happen imminently, so shortly, very shortly. And then after that, they'll have the public alpha release, and that'll be probably the first time we see a lot of it in action. For me, I think they need to take as much time as they want. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think they should take their time on it or get it out and let us see it? Because I personally think that if you release something early, similar to MMOs, because it's taking a more MMOs sort of architecture, then it can have a big problem. Because like Star Wars: The Old Republic, that was a recent one, MMO. What happened to that? No endgame content when it was released. Just free fell to the ground, and now it's a free-to-play game. So they need to be careful. One thing I think as well, potentially the reason that they're pricing it quite cheap, considering it's now going to be an independent game and they've put a lot of work into it, is that they might include an in-game shop of some kind eventually. I mean, I'm hoping that isn't the case, but it's a real possibility. If they were to do that, people could buy, maybe clothing, more customizable clothing, just to make you really unique. the only downside is it takes away from the point of scavenging for clothing and things like that. So they've also said about illnesses in the game, so there could be cholera that's like staying on your clothes or something, so maybe you need to change clothes once you've cured yourself of illnesses so it doesn't spread to other people. Maybe burn them, I don't know. This possibilities sound endless, but there's a lot of companies that make something sound amazing and it turns out shit, so I'm not getting my hopes too high on that one. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I'm excited. I think they should take their time with it, release it when they're ready, make sure it's good, there's no problems there. We're in for a treat. So let me know what you guys think, whether they should release it quickly or hold off, and what you'd like to see in it. And I'd be really interested in hearing what you have to say. So thanks for listening to this. Subscribe if you're not already, because there will be DayZ when it comes out, and obviously Battlefield and other games like that I play anyway. And I look forward to hearing from you. So cheers for watching, and tally ho.